everyone. I'm Michael with Niche, and I'm also joined by the multilingual Alex. Buongiorno. How are you doing?
Hola, buongiorno, buenos días, bonjour. Hello, everybody.
How are you doing, Alex?
I'm very well, thank you, and I hope everybody is fantastic, is feeling great. It's a lovely day, so been nice.
Amazing. How are you finding school, home, this? How's the balance for you?
Probably as everybody else. There are some bright sides and there are some downsides. So it's one of these things we all have to get used to, and I can't grumble.
I agree. I agree on a lot of what you're saying for many of the reasons which will go unsaid, essentially. So, but Alex, what is the focus of our Spanish lesson today then?
Right, so today we are going to introduce the technology. It's one of the most important topics for the GCSEs. Students are always required to develop the topic of technology. Why do you use your mobile phone? What for? Why do you find it useful? What are the advantages of the mobile phones and the technology nowadays? So I'm going to introduce this topic today. We're going to go through the key phrases on this topic, and we're going to look at building the sentences, expanding the sentences, and tackling a reading task. Right? So that's the focus for today. So the technology for today.
Amazing, fantastic. I'm going to mute myself so that no one can hear my bad Spanish accent in the background. But take
your best. Do your best. I always say when I'm repeating the words to you, to the students, you are in the comfort of your own home, so you can repeat as much as you like, as many times as you like, and nobody's judging. And the best way to repeat, and I always say that to the students, close your eyes, don't look at what's written, just repeat what you hear. Because then your vision doesn't work, so your hearing works, and you try to recreate the sounds that you hear, and that's the key message I always pass to the students. So to get the pronunciation right, that's what you need to do. Anyway, stop from me. Now let's move on to the class, to the lesson. Pues bienvenidos a mi clase. Esa es la clase número 8 y vamos a empezar. Pues la fecha de hoy.
If you just press the little arrow on the right.
Thank you. Bueno, pues bienvenidos a la clase de español número 8. La fecha de hoy es martes, el 5 de mayo de 2020. Martes, el 5 de mayo de 2020. You must have noticed already that obviously every time I write a day of the week or a month, I never use capital letters, not because I'm making mistakes. In Spanish, you don't need to write them. You don't need to use capital letters. Now, en nuestra última clase repasamos el pretérito, the past tense. Here I'm saying what we did last week. In our last lesson or previous lesson, we revised, repasamos. So el pretérito, the past tense, the simple past tense that you will use the most, jugué, nadé, monté, comí. So I played, I swam, I rode, I ate. What we were pointing out is that always, every time you are building a Spanish word that is conjugated, if you are thinking of saying something using personal form, you need to find the infinitive. The infinitive is the word that you will find in the dictionary, such as visitar, visit, comer, vivir, to live, to eat. And you need to chop off the last two letters, those are that form the head of the verb, and you need to add the ending that you choose using at the beginning the handouts, the endings that the teacher provides you with, and then you obviously you need to remember them. So to say I visited is visité, comí, viví. So you always have to remember that the two last letters, chop them off, and that is your base for the personal forms. So you chop off the head, you stay with the stem of the word, and for the last step you That's the correct ending. Also, ¿te acuerdas? Do you remember? ¿Te acuerdas? And the word of opinion. Me encanta. Me gusta. No me gusta. Odio. No me gusta nada. Adoro. Me chifla. Me interesa. Te gusta. Nos gusta. Those words that today we're going to be incorporating in the sentences. So those words that you know very well from my previous lessons. ¿Qué vamos a hacer hoy? My everyday question. ¿Qué vamos a hacer hoy? What are we going to do today? Pues, hoy vamos a hablar sobre la tecnología. Today, we are going to talk about the technology. Vamos a ver cómo leer un texto. We are going to see how to read a text. Vamos a hablar, the simple future tense, we are going to talk. Vamos a ver, we are going to see. But that's not the topic of today. Now, important words that I am going to use today a lot is puedo. Puedo, you would ask before you reach out for the chocolate from the box. Puedo, can I? Puedo. Puedo, can I? Also means I can. Puedo. Sí, puedes. Of course you can. So puedo is going to be the key word to introduce this topic. Puedo, I can. Because what can you do with your mobile phone? On this slide, I have scattered a lot of words to do with the technology. And at the very top, you see the word puedo, I can, or no puedo, I can't. Right, so what have I got in here? So I've got a list of the words in English that correspond to the pictures. So hacer llamadas. And we've got mandar mensajes. Sorry, we're going to go A, B, C, D. So hacer llamadas, escuchar música, sacar fotos, mandar mensajes, descargar música, usar Snapchat, hablar por WhatsApp, navegar por Internet, usar Instagram. So what you see here, that is the collection of activities you can do with your mobile phone. So there we go. Hacer llamadas. Hacer llamadas. Repeat with me. Hacer llamadas. Hacer llamadas. Now, puedo hacer llamadas. Puedo hacer llamadas. So to make phone calls, I can make phone calls. Escuchar música. Puedo escuchar música. I can listen to the music. Sacar fotos. Sacar fotos. Puedo sacar fotos. I can take photos. Mandar mensajes. Mandar mensajes. Puedo mandar mensajes. I can send text. Descargar música. Descargar música. Puedo descargar música. So to download music. I can download music. Usar Snapchat. Usar Snapchat. Puedo usar Snapchat. To use Snapchat. Hablar por WhatsApp. Hablar por WhatsApp. Puedo hablar por WhatsApp. Again, so to talk on WhatsApp, or I can talk through WhatsApp. You probably have realized you can switch these words. Usar, hablar, you can switch them around. And I can say hablar por Snapchat or usar WhatsApp. You can mix them and match them depending on what you want to say. Now this one, the H, navegar por Internet. Navegar por Internet. Puedo navegar por Internet. I can surf the net. And finally, mirar el Instagram. Mirar fotos en Instagram. Mirar fotos en Instagram. Puedo mirar fotos en Instagram. I can look at the photos on Instagram. Now, how do we build the sentences using all these words? So to build a sentence, I want to say, I can start with something like, con mi móvil, with my mobile, I puedo hacer llamadas. With my phone, I can make phone calls. If you're wondering what question that does this answer, would be obviously, what can you do with your mobile phone? Very common question in your speaking exam. Or even better, con mi móvil siempre puedo hacer llamadas. You can see how I added the word siempre. Siempre means always. The examiners will always prefer you to say something like this when you add the quantifier, when you add an adverb, an adjective. Always good to see that. Then never forget to add some extra information. So now we have revised all these words. We've learned 9 new expressions to do with the mobile phones, with the technology. Other 2 key words for today is uso and utilizo. Uso, utilizo, uso, utilizo. They both means I use. You can switch them around. They are synonyms in Spanish. So either uso or utilizo mean exactly the same. Now, how to build the sentence? I will start with uso el móvil porque es útil. Very simple sentence. This is a sentence that you cannot go wrong with. Very simple to answer any simple question. Also, I use mobile phone because is useful. There are some words that obviously you will need to know to be able to expand your speech, to be able to answer any question. I will introduce them to you, and you will be able to look them up on Quizlets that I am attaching to this lesson. So you're going to be able to revise these words and simply expand your knowledge and be able to talk about the technology using the adjectives as well. So the adjectives, to be able to say anything about the mobile phone or anything to do with the technology, what is it like? Well, you need that selection. So divertido is fun. Divertido. Well, let me just take you through it slowly. Divertido, fun. Divertido. Aburrido. Aburrido. Interesante. Interesante. Relajante. Relajante. Fantástico. Fantástico. Avanzado. Avanzado. Lento. Lento. Rápido. Rápido. Guay. Guay. Fácil. Fácil. Útil. Útil. Moderno. Moderno. Práctico. Práctico. Now, when I look at this list within, let's say, in an experienced eye, I would be able to identify a couple of great cognates that will make my learning much easier. So if I look at my interesante, relato of this screen, so I can highlight it for you. Dado que is another word for you to say because. Dado que es rápido y también puedo navegar por internet. Una ventaja es que puedo llamar a mis amigos, pero una desventaja es que a veces mi WhatsApp no funciona y es muy molesto. So what I've done here, my lovely students, is that I have moved from this short sentence in red onto this long sentence in green, using just a few words. So I used the opener that I introduced at the beginning of the lesson, that I reminded you of. I love, Now I said my mobile. That is fun. And also I use the word from today, puedo, I can navigate the subnet. Here I am being a little bit more clever because I'm using una ventaja y una desventaja. And as you can see in palabras claves, which is the key words, that means advantage and disadvantage. All right, so I'm using those. Una ventaja es que puedo, again, that I can call my friends, but a disadvantage is that sometimes my WhatsApp doesn't work and it's very annoying. Es muy molesto. So I built high level sentence. Oh, yeah, that's just one sentence that I can impress you. I can impress my examiner with. So this is where you're going to be drifting towards, that ability to develop the sentence using just a few words, right? And finally, I wanted to take you to a reading text that I've prepared for you. And we have probably about 1 minute or two. So we're going to read this text and answer the questions. So this is a standard type of exam text that the students would get. And as you can see, there are some comprehension questions. My main message to you, I'm not sure we're going to have time, but my main message to you is before you start answering the questions, please remember, first read the questions themselves. So this text was composed by a girl called Sophie, and Sophie wrote something about her new and her old phone. Why does Sophie like her new phone? How often does she use it? What can Sophie do with her phone? What is Sophie going to do next year? And what was a disadvantage of Sophie's old phone? And without being too advanced, or even if you are not too sure of them, if you read the text slowly, you will be able to answer the questions, but providing you know what you are looking for. Why does Sophie like her new phone? Now let's have a look at this text. She starts like this. Me encanta, me encanta mi nuevo móvil, porque es grande y útil. After the word porque, because there's always the reason. Why does she like it? Yes, you got it, because it's big and useful. How often does she use it? Next sentence replies to that. Lo utilizo todos los días. You should be able to identify the word todos los días as every day. So she uses it every day. Next, what can Sophie do with her phone? And she says, puedo, I can, enviar mensajes a mis amigos y estar en contacto con mi familia. Now, this word, enviar mensajes, we learned today, to send the text. However, the second one, estar en contacto con mi familia, we haven't. But what would be your guess? Estar contacto con mi familia. Even if you don't know Spanish, you probably can answer that. Contacto, to be in touch, in contact with the family. So sometimes if you don't understand, lay back onto what you think it could mean. Use your common sense. All right, so that would score you 2 marks here. What is Sophie going to do next year? So what is she going to do? I need to read the text to have a look at next year. Oh, I've got it. El año que viene. We learned this phrase last week. El año que viene. Next year. I am voy a comprar el nuevo iPhone 11, que va a ser fantástico. What is she going to do? Even if you forgot the word comprar, new iPhone 11, it's going to be fantastic. She is going to, yes, she's going to buy a new iPhone. Finally, what was a disadvantage of Sophie's old phone? And we remember from the previous slide, the disadvantage. Let's have a look. What follows after? Bueno, la desventaja de tener un Motorola, whoever remembers those, hey, era que no tenía una cámara para sacar fotos y no podía navegar por internet. Now, what can you make out of this? No tenía una cámara. It didn't have a camera to take photos, what we learned today, and you couldn't serve the net. So skim reading, looking at the keywords that you learned and applying them to make successful answers. Well, that's it from me for today. The learning tasks should be attached to this lesson. Do revise them, go on to Quizlet, learn, memorize them, just build your own vocab, build that dictionary that is going to be in your mind. So when you are standing in front of the examiner, you know as many words as you possibly can. Bueno, pues vamos a decir adiós, hasta luego, y os dejo con Michael.
Thank you, Alex. Really useful. God, I remember motor rollers, but anyway, thank you so much for that. I love that. Technology is always a good one because there's always certain words and phrases that just you add a couple of syllables at the end, and then you got Spanish, then you got Italian, then you got French, haven't you?
You are absolutely right. This is the topic that you can skim through. Even sometimes if you perhaps are lagging a little bit, if you're not too sure, you can make intelligent guesses. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, exactly. And what's the plan the rest of the day, Alex?
Well, homeschooling. Homeschooling is the plan. Yeah, I've got 2 children here with me who are looking for a little bit of help from the mom. So, yeah.
That's good. Same for me. Got 6-year-old Lola, 3-year-old Jarvi downstairs. So it'll be maths whilst also playing Pokemon. I think that's the plan with them.
Pokemon?
Yeah, well, I have to hide in the house somewhere and pretend to be various different Pokemon whilst Jarvi catches me. That's how it works.
You have an amazing role to play today. That's hilarious.
Thank you. And Nisha, what are we doing for your day?
Okay, thank you so much. Take care.
See you.
Bye. Adios.
Adios. Hasta luego.
How do you know all this Spanish?
I've got Blagger's Guide to Many Languages, don't worry. Mm-hmm. So you get just enough that you can go, you say something, people go, oh, you speak Chinese. And you go, well, no, just basically I can ask for water and say my name.
That's fine. I mean, that's all you need.
But Nish, I want to thank you for being the puppeteer, pulling all the strings today. You did an amazing job as always.
With a few mistakes, but we'll get there,
Yeah, exactly. And the next time I see you, it will be for my own lesson tomorrow morning, and I hope the next time we see everybody will be to listen to Jackson before they begin, obviously, the best lesson of the week, which is their English lesson.
Yes, obviously.
All right, and again, any of the resources that people want to find from today's sessions or any of our previous sessions are all on the portal. Alex's Quizlet task links are also there as well. And yeah, feel free to, as always, guys, feel free to use these, revise from them, share them with others, because you're getting expert advice live from people, which you can then reflect back on anytime you want. So, clearly a very, very useful tool for now and in the future as well.
Right, thank you. And I'll see you tomorrow.